I didn't notice the difference right away. That's how it works, I think. If you were to meet her now, you wouldn't hear anything wrong at all. She still laughs the same way, says the same weird little phrases, and even sings along off-key to the same old Arctic Monkeys tracks. But it's not her voice. We moved in together 3 months ago, into an old mountain cabin her uncle left her in his will. It's way up in Colorado near a ski town that tourists only visit in winter. By late April, the roads are mostly empty, and the trees are dense and tall enough to make it feel like we're on our own little planet. We thought it would be peaceful. The first strange thing happened the night we lost power. A storm rolled in, heavy with ice. The power went out just before 2 a.m. I remember the time because my phone lit up in the darkness as it buzzed with the outage alert. I reached for the flashlight we kept in the drawer beside the bed. When I flicked it on, my girlfriend Cassie was already sitting up. Only she wasn't facing me. She was staring at the bedroom window, not looking through it, just staring at it. We sleep on the second floor. There's nothing outside that window but open air and 30 feet of pine tree. But she looked transfixed, like something fascinating was on the other side of the glass. "Cass?" I whispered. She didn't answer. "Cassie?" This time she turned slowly toward me. Her eyes were wide, but not afraid. Just awake. Too awake. "It's okay," she said softly. And here's the first thing I really remember. Her voice echoed. Not a lot. Not like she was in the canyon or anything. But there was a faint second voice layered under hers, trailing each word a half-second behind, like a weird shadow. And it wasn't her voice. It was lower, a different cadence. I thought maybe it was the wind howling outside, mimicking her words. The power came back an hour later, and she didn't remember any of it the next morning. The next incident happened while we were eating lunch. Cassie was telling me a story about this stray cat she used to feed back in college. Nothing creepy, just something about how it always came limping up to her dorm window. But halfway through the story, she paused, stared past me at the corner of the room, and asked, "Do you see him?" I turned around, heart jumping. There was nothing there but our coat rack. I asked her who she meant. She blinked, like she'd just woken up, then gave this awkward little laugh and said, "Sorry, I thought I saw a man standing by the wall." She brushed it off, but I couldn't. Because the thing is, she didn't say it in her usual voice. It was exactly the same as the voice I heard the night of the storm, that weird, echoing, double-layered voice. Only this time it wasn't subtle. It was unmistakably not her. I didn't tell her that. Not then. The dream started soon after. Cassie would wake up muttering, not words I could understand, just low clicking noises and broken syllables. Sometimes I'd wake to find her sitting straight up, whispering to the dark. Sometimes her mouth would be open, but the whispering would still continue, like it was coming from somewhere behind her teeth. I started recording her with my phone. Not to prove anything, just because I needed to hear it again, needed to know I wasn't going insane. But the recordings never played back what I heard. They were always silent, completely blank, even though they were hours long. No ambient sound, no breathing, just black static. Cassie didn't believe me when I showed her. She just looked at me with this small, polite smile, one I didn't recognize. "I think you're just dreaming these things," she said. "Stress can play tricks on your mind." That wasn't how she talked. Not just the tone, but the structure. Cassie's a total chatterbox. She fills space with half-thoughts and tangents. She doesn't say things like, "Stress can play tricks on your mind." That sounded like a script, like something trying to sound human. The last clear thing that happened was 5 nights ago. I couldn't sleep, so I went downstairs to read. Around 3:30 a.m., I heard footsteps above me. Our bedroom creaks when someone moves. I waited to hear her come down the stairs, but the steps just kept pacing above my head. Then I heard the bedroom door creak open. Still no steps on the stairs. Then I heard her voice from the kitchen. It was a perfect copy. Same lilt, same sleepy drawl. She said, "Hey babe, what are you doing up?" I froze, because I could still hear the footsteps upstairs. I didn't move, didn't breathe. The kitchen was behind me. I didn't dare turn around. The voice came again, closer this time. "Are you reading?" It wasn't threatening. It wasn't aggressive. It sounded like her. But something inside me screamed that if I turned around, I would never be the same again. So I whispered, "Go back upstairs." There was silence. Then it answered, "Okay." But not like she would have said it. It was flat, robotic. And then, after a moment, the footsteps upstairs stopped. I sat there, rigid, for what must have been an hour. I didn't go back up until the sun came through the window. When I did, she was in bed, asleep, curled under the blanket just like normal. When I woke her, she groaned and pulled the covers tighter like she always did. Nothing seemed wrong, except she wouldn't let me kiss her. She pulled away gently, said, "I have a headache." That was 5 days ago. She hasn't said, "I love you" since then. Not once. And she always used to. It was our thing. She'd yell it from the other room. She'd whisper it randomly while we were doing the dishes. She'd write it on sticky notes and slap them to my forehead. She said it like she was afraid she'd forget. But now, nothing. The silence between us has grown thick and stale, like air in a closed tomb. When she talks normally, but everything feels wrong, like it's her mouth saying the words, but not her mind behind them. I tested her this morning. I told her we were out of milk. She opened the fridge, looked right at the full gallon, and said, "Yeah, I'll go grab some later." I asked her what day it was. She said, "Tuesday." "It's Saturday." I asked her the name of her childhood best friend. She blinked, said Ellie. She never had a friend named Ellie. I've seen her yearbooks. I've met her real best friend, Paige. She was our maid of honor. I'm writing this from the bathroom with the door locked. Cassie is downstairs, humming. That off-key Arctic Monkeys track again. It's been stuck on the same line for 10 minutes straight. Do I want to know if this feeling flows both ways? Over and over. I called Paige 10 minutes ago. She picked up right away. Said she hadn't talked to Cassie in months. But here's the part that froze my blood. I've been meaning to reach out. I had the weirdest dream about her. She was standing in my yard, just staring. Her mouth was open like she was screaming, but there was no sound. Then this voice whispered something in my ear. She paused. What did it say? I asked. She didn't want to answer. I had to beg. She finally said, it said, she's still in there, but not for long. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm not even sure who I'm living with anymore. She still looks like Cassie, smiles like her, sometimes even feels like her. But when I ask her questions, she gets distant, flat, like she's buffering between personalities. And last night she walked into the room while I was asleep, leaned right down beside my face, and whispered, "Do you see him?" The same question she asked weeks ago, the same blank tone. Only this time, I asked her what she meant, and she just smiled and whispered, "He's behind you now." That was it. She didn't elaborate, just went to bed. But I haven't turned around since. I don't think I can. Not yet. Because the humming started again from the other room, and I'm alone in the bathroom. Or I was. It's coming from behind the mirror now, and it's not her voice anymore.